Hey YouTube family and GN subs and potential clients. I'm going to do something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I wanted to give a free consultation to kind of go through a mock consultation to let you know what I look for when I am evaluating a case and the potential options for new clients and existing clients, as well as those who have already been in the U.S. Perhaps they've been out of status, in status. I'm going to go through my whole interview process for the consultation to give you an idea of exactly what I'm looking for, and you may learn from this. So we'll give you some information on what you may be eligible for. If you're looking for a good attorney for immigration purposes, you can find out what type of information you want to provide. Those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Humberto R, attorney at law here in Los Angeles, and I just love what I do. I give my subscribers, I call them good news subscribers, I give them good news all the time. Again, I'm going to go through this process for you, so sit tight and let's get at it. Okay, so I have a client information sheet that I have in front of me, and I fill out quite a bit, and I'm just going to go through how I go through with clients. The first thing that I want to know is country of birth, both from a standpoint of non-immigrant visas and immigrant visas. The non-immigrant visas are the temporary visas, F1s, B1, B2s, E2s, etc. The immigrant visas, the big prize, that's the green card. Why is country of birth so important, right? So country of birth is so important on the non-immigrant visa end because there are options available depending on different countries. For example, the E2 and the E3 visa, right? The E2 is the investor visa, but it's only available to individuals from certain countries. The E3 visa, for example, is available to those only who are from Australia. So yeah, the non-immigrant visas, depending on the country, it has different ramifications. For example, if you're going to get a non-immigrant visa stamp in your passport, depending on the country, they could give you full validity, or they could give you 1 year, multiple entries. They could give you one entry. So knowing the country of birth is really important to explain to a client exactly what's going to happen on the non-immigrant visa end. On the immigrant visa end, very, very important. Priority dates are important. I have videos on the visa bulletin. For example, India and China. In the EB, employment-based categories, there is a long, substantial wait for individuals from those countries. So if I'm explaining to a client, they want to get a green card through an EB application, and they're from China or India, I got to tell them, look, this is going to take a very long time. And the first thing I do, I go to the visa bulletin and I say, let's check it out. Let's see how long this may take. So country of birth, again, very important. All right, next thing I go to is manner of entry. How did you enter the United States? Legally, illegally, or if you have overstayed your visa, you entered legally and you've overstayed. Why is that important? That's important because in order to change your status to a non-immigrant visa, you must be in legal status. You cannot change if you are out of status. Also, with regard to permanent resident status, if you're legal, you can adjust under 245A. If you're not legal, there's certain ways you can adjust, but you have to qualify. For example, 245I, you need to have an application that was filed on your behalf before 2001. I have a very good video on how to adjust from unlawful status. There's 6 different ways. Go check out that video. It's a very good video. Also, if you are out of status, if you've overstayed your visa, there are 3 and 10-year bars. I have to talk to my clients. I have to advise them about the bars and maybe potential waivers to get around the bars. So that manner of entry and whether or not you've maintained legal status, very important. The next thing is, when does your visa expire? Those, for example, on F1 student visas, if they're on OPT, practical training, they get a work permit after the F1. I want to know when it expires because I need to put it in my system, and I need to let clients know you need to do something before expirations because your options disappear. They go away when you're out of status. So we want to make sure that individuals are filing, for example, changes of status before the visitor visa expires, right? Or you want to change status under 245A. Let's say you marry a U.S. citizen. You want to apply before the expiration of your non-immigrant visa so that you're able to get travel permission while your adjustment is pending Very, very important. So maintaining status, finding out when that status expires is critical in my mind. Next is how many immediate family members do you have in the U.S.? That's really important because under the family immigration law, immediate family members who are residents or citizens can apply for you. So it gives you immediately that option. Let's say even if you have a sibling in the U.S., I always advise, file the I-130. Who knows? I know it takes 10 years, but it may help you in the future. For example, those clients of mine who I told file the I-130 through the family member, they did before 2001, and now they can use that 2001 to file an adjustment of status under 245I. So yeah, immediate family members, you can petition family members to get the green card. So that's very important to know. Immediate family members are spouses, siblings, and children who are citizens of the U.S. Those are immediate family members, not cousins, not uncles and aunts, all right? The next thing that I look at is employment history, because I want to know availability of applying for permanent resident status through the EB categories. These are the employment-based categories 1 through 5, right? So I need to know if an individual is of extraordinary ability, I look at the EB1. If they have a master's degree, I look at the EB2. If it's a professional position, bachelor's degree, or more than 2 years experience, I look at the EB3. EB4 for priest, EB5 for those who have dinero, that's money. Those who want to invest in the U.S., maybe a possibility under the EB5. So I explore their background, educational background, employment history background to determine if they're eligible for one of the EB categories. Next, I look at whether or not individuals are eligible for political asylum or VAWA, the Violence Against Women's Act. So if there has been history of violence, I look at these options always to give my clients at least the option to apply for political asylum or for VAWA. It's very important. I look at individuals, have they ever had problems at the border? If they've had problems at the border, any type of apprehension, perhaps a removal, I need to know this because you can file certain types of waivers or there's permanent bars. If you've been removed and you come back illegally, permanent bar. So I do study if there's been any incidents at the border. I do advise clients, if there are, that they get what's called a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, to try to procure that information. Next, I look for criminal history, whether or not you have been arrested or convicted of a crime. That could have severe consequences in terms of grounds of inadmissibility. I usually get a written brief. I do the research. Written brief, get it in writing. What are the consequences of this conviction, right? That's very heady stuff. And we provide very detailed briefs regarding the potential negative effect of criminal history convictions. Prior marriage applications, always a problem, folks. 204C is a permanent bar if there has been a finding of fraud in connection with a prior marriage petition that has been denied. I want the petition. I want to go through it. I want to see whether or not we have options to fight this or if there is a permanent bar. And that is a biggie. Always happens. So we want to make sure we have all information on that. Finally, do you have any immediate family members who are in the military? That can get you legal in the U.S. I've saved a lot of cases on the parole in place. You become legal in the U.S. and then you can adjust, get your green card, and that is good stuff, folks. All right, YouTube family and GN subs and potential clients. This is what I go through when I'm doing consultations. Hey, go to my content. There's other explanations of things you may be eligible for. Thanks for watching GrayLaw TV. Click below, like and subscribe, share my content with all of your family and friends. Take care.